is on the right.
Might go over here. We haven't had one of these for a while, have we? Oh, I've been utterly busy. I'll shut this door. Sounds like something out of a horror movie. Anyway. Oh, I'm on my way to Bicester, and I'm trying to find a parking space. I've been to 3 tonight. One was just full of litter everywhere. One was just very, very noisy. And this one is so quiet, it's unbelievable. All you can hear is the birds going to sleep, even song. It's lovely. And the sheep. And there is a campervan in front of me, which makes it feel safe somehow. Because the other space that I was in, it was very noisy. Loads of cars going by. It was right next to a really posh village. Aynho, near Bicester. And it was nice, kind of like lay-by type thing. But I just know I wouldn't get a good night's sleep there. And I know I wouldn't be, no knocking on the door or anything like that. And I don't think I'll get it here either. But it's just something about knowing that there's another campervan there. It just makes me feel more at ease, I guess. I hate the word safe. It's been overused, isn't it? But anyway. My voice, you might hear, is a bit strange. I think that's because of all the stress I've been under lately. And I've travelled up to Lichfield, and you'll see all the shorts there showing you the cathedral and everything. Oh, it's a beautiful cathedral. But it's lost its soul, I'm afraid. I think it lost its soul when they bricked up the windows. Yeah, I don't think a church or a cathedral would brick up the windows, but it did. If you look very carefully, you'll understand what I mean. Behind all the statues they've got used to be crystal glass. Not the lead glass windows that we've got, with the coloured panes in them at the moment. But they used to be crystal. And the organ pipes were very, very large. And together, in that place, you can imagine the vibration and the light. It must have been magical. But with all the things that have been going on in the world, all the lies that have been told in our history, you can see it. If you really look, you can see where they've changed the history just by looking at the buildings and by digging up a little bit of historic information, because somehow it just doesn't tie in together. Anyway, enough of that, because YouTube keep penalising me for saying things like this. I've been doing a lot of thinking while I've been driving, and I've been doing a lot of driving, so my head hurts. I've been trying to figure out the meaning of life. And okay, you can put it into either 2 groups. Okay, the first group is divided by 4. That's 0 to 20 years, and then 21 to 40 years, then 41 to 60 years, and then 61 to 80 years. And if you look at the way that humans progress through those years, they're quite distinctive, really. Or you could divide it into 3. 0 before birth to 30, then 31 to 60, and then 60 to 90. In either case, I'm very much in the latter group. And when you look back over life, I do feel a tinge of sadness at not being able to make the most of my youth, most of the time I was shy, especially before I hit 20. And then from my 20 to my 30s, I grew up an awful lot. And then during the latter half of my life, I look back and I think, what was all that stress about? Why was I worried? Why can't I have the attitude I have now then? Because right now, I've got the attitude of, is that, that film, great, was it? I can't remember. Well, at the end, I think it's Errol Flynn that says, frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn. Well, that's how I'm feeling about life. I used to open my door every morning and think, I was worried about what people would think when they opened my door and they saw me jump out. But of late, it's just, I don't care anymore. I just open the fan, and if somebody's out there and they look at me and think, what are you doing? I know this evening I was sending a couple of texts to a friend. I don't know what was going on with my head. I'll read them to you. I was telling him about the spot that I was camping in, and I was trying to find a place. Sean. And I said, I was driving from Worcestershire to Oxfordshire, and I was in a 40-mile-an-hour zone limit, and I was driving 40 miles an hour, just up to 40 miles an hour. As you may know, I don't see the speed signs as targets. I see them as guidelines, and I like to take in the view as I'm driving along. And I like to hurry about everywhere like it's a racetrack. But there are quite a few people on the roads that do think it's a racetrack. And while I am conscious of the fact that sometimes of late I have been a bit amiss with my driving, and I feel like I need to take another driving lesson, I do think that I am quite a good driver. I'm feeling my ego boosting there, but driving's been a big part of my life all the way through. Apart from when I was living in London, then I didn't have a car, but you had so many trains and buses to rely on. It didn't really matter about a car. You could go anywhere, anytime, any place, anywhere. And it was easy. Within 5 minutes you had a train track. Within 2 minutes you had a bus for the terminal. So when they think of 15-minute cities, that is the kind of scenario that you could think of, and that is really wonderful from that point of view. And I think if you're living in a place like Carshalton, which is where I was living, I wouldn't mind living in a 15-minute city, but I like to travel and explore, so it wouldn't allow you to do that. But that is the kind of scenario when you're living in those places that you'll give you an example of a 15-minute city. Every form of transportation is on hand for you, including bicycles. which I hate. But I used to be a cyclist, so I can't really say that, can I? Anyway, as I was driving down this road, this guy was really buzzing. Really, I could see him trying to get past me. He must have been driving about 70 miles an hour because he really sped off so fast. And I thought, oh, I pity you, young man. Anyway, this guy, as he passed me, I said in my mind, I hope you don't cause an accident somewhere down the road, because there's no police cameras or anything like that, which I'm grateful for. I don't want them everywhere. But if they caught him, I think he would have been his licence taken away from him, because I thought, I hope I'm not around when he has the accident. Well, I was around when he had the accident, and I only had to drive about 300 yards, I think, because I just rounded a bend. I think, well, I'll show you the video. What's going on there? Thought it would have done. I saw him on the verge, on the other side of the road, really screeching his car, trying to reverse, and it wouldn't work because his exhaust was all stuck in the mud, the bank. I thought, oh, you idiot. I did slow down and stop, and I thought, I looked in his van, and I thought, that poor Volkswagen van, it looked really nice dark blue, shiny little thing, but it's not going to be really good. Well, I wanted to stop. I wanted to get out of the van and go across the road, tap on his window and say, hello, my name's Karen. Are you alright? I don't think it would have gone down very well. But anyway, sometimes I said to my friend here, I feel like Mr. Magoo. I'm driving along like with my glasses on. I have my back hunched and I'm folding onto the wheel and I'm looking around going do 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 do. And behind me and all around me is chaos. Oh yeah, like I said, I felt like Mr. Magoo. All calamity happening around me and me not bothered at all. My angels must be working hard for me. And then I said, as I was parked up in a little lay-by, I was thinking, I need some more gas canisters for my little gun that I've got, my little pistol. It's only a, pea shooter type thing, but it's kind of a thing that will make me feel a bit safer. And I'm going to go to the gun club and try to brush up on my shooting skills. I haven't even put any videos up of my last shooting episode, have I? That was quite fun. I did say a couple of other things which you'll probably be bored with, but I do think about all these young people, and I think, whenever I hear all these young lads who pull up next to me and start their music thumpy, bloody grindy, tinny stuff. I don't know what it is they're playing. I won't even hazard a guess, but I wonder what's going through their mind. I mean, when did this craze start, when people get in cars and start wind up the windows and just blast their eardrums with music in the car? Why not in their own bedrooms? Or that's what I used to do when I was their age. I think it's only a recent thing. Is it something to do with this car film series? What's it called? Speed? I don't know. I've got the need for speed. Oh, is that Tom Cruise with his Top Gun? I don't know. I do think I'm losing my marbles at the moment, though, because I made a cup of tea. I put the kettle on, and it's still hot. I put the water in the kettle. I put the kettle on the gas stove, and I forgot to put the lid on. So I was thinking, what's happening here? There's a load of steam. What's going on? I don't know. I must be going crazy. But anyway, it is hard when you're looking at life and you're seeing all the people that you loved around you either leaving or dying or getting ill, and you can't do anything about it because there's something that has to happen in life. And I think this phase in my life is that I've had to sweep away all the people that I used to know. It did happen naturally after my mother and my stepfather died. And I had grown a whole host of new friends. Not many, because I am always a bit reticent to allow people into my life, because it's difficult, because you have to learn to trust them, you have to learn their ways, and not to offend them, and make sure that they're not going to take advantage of you or want something from you that you can't give. It is quite sad sometimes when I see people. For some reason my light went off, so I've put the other one on. Anyway, it's been quite a tiring day, but an adventurous day. I have to close this door. And instead of turning that thing on over there, reaching through and putting the internal lock on, what I've been doing of late is this. Not that one. This one's got a picture of you lock the van from inside. Can you see? And I've been using that, and I got a friend to open the door. And it did. So all this time I've been using that, people would just open the door from the outside. I don't know why. Anyway. So what I do now is I use the middle one, which is what I do when I go outside the van and go in. Yeah. I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway. Yes. That will be locked. Now, just got to make my bed, which is really difficult. So, I'm not going to let you watch me do that because it's an awful task. I hate it. I need to sell the big van and then part exchange this one for a medium-sized van. That's what I want. So, if anybody knows of any good van I can buy at a decent price, It's not going to break the bank because I haven't got a lot of money left. Let me know because I'm all ears. So I'll say good night.